Hollywood version of Godzilla. This enormous monster goes back 60 years. The first Godzilla movie was released in Japan in 1954. The country, just recovered from World War II, was thrust into fear of destruction once again by this imposing creature. The man who created Godzilla was Eiji Tsuburaya. He dreamt of creating films where the tokusatsu, or special effects, was the star. To accomplish this, he introduced a special monster suit which a human actor could step into. He also recreated miniature towns in stunning detail. The combination of the two became Japan's special film style, tokusatsu.
It was up to me to make it seem like no one was inside. Mr. Tsuburaya said to me, Godzilla doesn't have an actor inside.
Sudden shockwaves send tiles flying and weak buildings collapse. Calculating that into the set is up to the art department. Godzilla normally bites down like this, but real animals are like this. The jaws stretch.
Ah, yes they do.
That's what we did here.
And now, Tsuburaya's traditions have been inherited by this generation's creators.
That surprise and joy I felt as a child. I want to create that myself, and I think it's possible right now.
Merging with the latest technologies, tokusatsu has stepped up onto a brand new stage. We're taking an inside look at the world of tokusatsu, a new reality created on screen.
I'm Baker Moon. When I first saw Japanese tokusatsu, monsters destroying cities and towns, heroes from faraway planets, I must say, I was very amazed and excited.
Actor Sen Kanu is a great fan of tokusatsu and has appeared in a tokusatsu TV film himself.
The analog-like Japanese tokusatsu might be regarded as very primitive, but in fact, the heritage of Japanese tokusatsu still remains at the heart of the latest movie hit, Godzilla 2014. Now, let's take a look at the secret, behind-the-scenes Japanese movie magic, tokusatsu, that has spanned generations and vast oceans.
The 60th anniversary year of Godzilla's birth, the 30th overall Godzilla film has been released, this time in Hollywood. Even in this modern version, actor Ken Watanabe feels the Japanese tokusatsu spirit of Eiji Tsuburaya pulsating throughout.
What's great about this Godzilla is that they kept that analog feel while using computer graphics. I feel the script itself is very tuned into Japan. I sense a love for Godzilla here, a deep understanding of its history and origin, with a strong affection.
I think there's it's had a massive influence on every filmmaker to some extent, probably. Never again in the history of the world are we going to have that caliber of artists that can create whole cities and creatures and the destruction at that level. It's hard to think of equivalents to like Tsuburaya and what he did.
Godzilla was born in the year of the Bikini Atoll thermonuclear test. The ashes of death fell on Japanese fishing boats, and people feared another disaster from radiation. A secret script was created based on this event. In the story, the nuclear experiment results in the birth of a mysterious monster who attacks Japan. It was A.J. Tsuburaya who was approached to head the project's tokusatsu. During the war, Tsuburaya was commissioned by the government to create a film about the attack on Pearl Harbor. With only a few newspaper articles to refer to, he recreated a stunning world so accurate it could be mistaken for a documentary film. And after the war, Tsuburaya was to tackle the tokusatsu for a new monster film. Tsuburaya deliberated most over how to show the enormous monster. And finally, he created a monster suit that would allow an actor to step inside. We're at the Monster Warehouse, where several Godzillas used in the film series are carefully stored. The man who infused these costumes with soul is Haruo Nakajima.
Do you feel at home being surrounded by Godzilla?
Well, I've spent so much time with these guys.
Monster actor Haruo Nakajima. He played Godzilla in 12 films and is known as Mr. Godzilla. 50 meters in height, weighing 20,000 tons. How in the world does this massive monster move? Nakajima was torn. That's when he decided to head to the zoo.
I lacked my brain about what I could do. I copied the elephants who walk without showing the soles of their feet. I tried shuffling like that. If you show the soles, it makes you look weak.
Can you show me Godzilla's shuffling feet?
Like this.
By incorporating the movement of real animals, he was able to create the presence of a heavy creature. To this, Tsuburaya added another element. To increase the massive feel of the monster, he decided to show Godzilla in slow motion. Repeating take after take, he finally arrived at the decision to stretch the scenes to 3 times the actual length. In addition, Tsuburaya added new mechanisms to the miniature set. He made steel towers out of wax and melted them with heat. This allowed him to show the devastating force of Godzilla's flames. With his masterpiece, Godzilla, Tsuburaya brilliantly created a new reality that could only exist on screen. Toho Studios in Setagaya, Tokyo. Extremely valuable material is stored here. Tsuburaya's research photographs used to create the heart of tokusatsu, those finely detailed miniatures. These were shot by members of the tokusatsu art department. One of those members is Yasuyuki Inoue, who was A.J. Tsuburaya's right hand. This is Fukuoka City in the 1950s, the setting for a new project. And this on the right is the miniature set created by Inoue. Here is a nearby shopping street. Can you tell which is the miniature set? Here's the answer. The detailed lettering on the signs, the displays and windows. Inoue diligently reproduced every last detail to draw the audience in and make them feel they're actually here. With the addition of increasingly detailed miniatures, Tsuburaya introduces a new monster, Rodan. A giant flying monster. What would happen if it actually flew? To create terror, Tsuburaya conjured up the shockwaves emitted from Rodan's enormous wings. In the art department, Inoue searched for ways to emphasize the destruction caused by the shockwaves and found the roofing tiles.
Wow! Oh my gosh! Kamagiras!
Inoue's 3 apprentices remember his work clearly.
He was serious about his work, always starting with collecting research material, no matter the film. From there, he worked diligently to recreate the real thing, just as it was.
Mr. Tsuburaya left that part completely up to Inoue. With a sudden shockwave, tiles fly and weak buildings collapse. Calculating that into the set is the art department's job.
We were trained not to compromise.
Each roofing tile is created by a separate piece of board. The tiles are blown upward with gunpowder, then scattered using a huge fan from the engine of a propeller airplane. It's a world in which the set itself looks like it's acting. Countless hours and energy were used to create this exhaustively detailed miniature set. Its fate? To be destroyed in a single second.
What if things don't go right?
We make it again.
Doesn't it take about a month?
Yes.
You create the set for that one scene.
Yes.
What if it goes wrong again?
We make it again.
Again! Oh no!
We calculate the destruction, but it never goes according to plan.
Really? This Kumamoto-jo castle is also Inoue-san's work. You can see the fine attention paid to the precise detail, the same as in Godzilla's work. Amazing.
About 2 hours from Tokyo by train, in Nikko City, there is an amusement park that lets visitors experience the miniature world as created by Inoue and his team. These monumental buildings from around the world have been recreated at 1/25th the size of the original. The reason is explained in relation to Godzilla. The 50-meter Godzilla is actually 2 meters high, a reduced scale of 1/25th. Thus, the surrounding buildings are also made at 1/25th scale to make Godzilla look 50 meters tall. To learn more about the intricate world of miniatures, we've come to a studio in Tokyo.
This is amazing. Oh, here we are. Hello. Hello, nice to meet you.
Norihiko Iwasaki. He is the president of Japan's leading miniature effects company, marbling fine arts.
Wow! Check it out! Oh my goodness!
What is this? It's a film set created at 1/10 scale, a regular home.
10分の1 1/10.
At this studio, miniature sets are created based on the needs of each film.
Wow! So real! Wow! Amazing! Look, the curtains you got in the back. And then down here too. Oh, the curtains are so real! Wow! Little plants in the front door. Whoa!
For each structure, the daily lives of its residents are imagined and recreated in depth. These miniatures themselves are quite a presence, inviting viewers into the world of tokusatsu films.
This telephone pole is incredible!
What's that?
Oh, over here. What surprised me is this air conditioning unit. The way the cords hang here, how it wraps around, and here, this wall, how it's a little faded. It's so realistic. Wow, amazing. So detailed. Yes, the aging effect allows the scaled-down model to look bigger.
Oh, すごい. Gosh.
What's this? This is also scaled at 1/10. The front is 1/10, and the buildings in the back are the common 1/25th size. It's an old trick in miniature tokusatsu to show depth within a very short distance. With Godzilla too, we've shot in this kind of situation. Really?
Uchiriki, the technique of giving depth to a miniature set by placing the larger 1/10 scale sets in the front and the smaller 1/25th sets outside the window.
Right, like that.
This is, oh, look at it. Look at the cafe latte.
The miniature work tradition, replicating every small object on set to its finest detail. This handcrafted skill is the pride of Japanese tokusatsu.
Wow. This is crazy.
In Japanese culture, there has always been an appreciation of miniature-sized objects. Bonsai, an art form enjoyed since the Edo period, might be called the original miniature. The appeal is in being able to recreate the feel of magnificent trees of the wild in small potted plants.
The Japanese have this culture of enjoying viewing small objects.
Teruyoshi Nakano. Following A.J. Tsuburaya, he is now tokusatsu director of 6 Godzilla films.
We see a large original and want to miniaturize it and say, look how small I made it. That culture exists in Japan.
It does.
That's where bonsai was born. It's the same with miniatures used in tokusatsu filmmaking. The tradition of miniaturizing real-life objects already existed, which may have led to the making of miniatures in tokusatsu.
Additionally, Nakano finds commonalities between miniature sets and the traditional Japanese garden.
For example, the view of the garden. Japan has a unique gardening culture of creating beautiful scenery outside a window. The miniature sets are also seen from one viewpoint, the camera.
Inside a single fixed frame, the placement of the objects can determine what kind of world is created. Altering the placement changes the view entirely. As the 1960s arrived, the center of entertainment was transitioning from film to television. Eiji Tsuburaya founded his own production company and made his move to the small screen. He began to create works that families all across Japan could enjoy. Born was a new hero who protected the Earth from monsters and aliens, Ultraman. This hero in human form was immediately accepted by children. In particular, the transformation scene made everyone's heart skip a beat. Like the miniature sets, the perspective effect is utilized here as well. The fist close to the camera is large, and the body gets smaller as we near the back. This technique shows Ultraman growing larger and larger. With episodes airing weekly, the studio was a hectic, highly creative place where new tokusatsu techniques accumulated. Physical effects, such as flying miniature airplanes on wires, is one of those techniques. This is a fight scene from the earliest Ultraman involving the fighter jet Beetle. Due to the wire, they could only fly the plane in a straight line. And this is a fighter jet seen 6 years later in Ultraman Ace. More complicated flying sequences became possible. Here's the trick to the spinning airplane scene. The planes are hung from a rotating wheel. The wheel turns and puts the planes in motion, which are then filmed by a camera tilted on its side. When the picture is turned back to its original position, this scene is born. With each new series, the flying sequences became increasingly elaborate, mesmerizing children in front of a TV. The lone female member of the Science Special Search Party, which fought monsters with Ultraman, was played by Hiroko Sakurai. She's now at Tsuburaya Productions, working to share Tsuburaya's tokusatsu with the public from a new angle. The Sagawa Art Museum in Shiga Prefecture. This museum houses masterpieces of Japanese painting and ceramics. This past spring, an Ultraman series exhibition was organized by Sakurai and her team.
We're honored to have the props from the tokusatsu film sets, created so diligently by Eiji Tsuburaya and his team, exhibited here as art.
Models and masks are exhibited carefully in glass cases. Over 60 years, the tokusatsu props have evolved to be a form of art. At the same time, the Ultraman series sends messages to society. Of the violent monsters, many were paradoxes born at the hands of the human race. Jamila, a former astronaut who became deformed in a space exploration accident. Hydra, who attacks cars indiscriminately, bears the soul of a young boy who died in a car accident. Gesura emerged from the waste of the Tokyo Bay and symbolizes environmental destruction. At times, fighting monsters like these, Ultraman is afflicted with many emotions. Sorrow, from having to battle monsters who are in a way victims of civilization. Anger towards the vicious destroyers. Honor and pride from having kept the peace. We understand those varying emotions through Ultraman. His mask is similar to no masks that show various emotions depending on the angle. The Ultraman series is now adored by people of all ages.
Who's your favorite? I love his strength and themes like protecting the earth.
The Tokusatsu world created by Tsuburaya and Company. It's now a cherished treasure by children of all ages. Children cheer the heroes on with their whole hearts at events around the country.
Tokusatsu now not only means a special photographic effect, but also a genre of new cultures. And now, let's go see how Tokusatsu is used in the studios these days.
This is the latest in the series, Ultraman Ginga S. In this world, traditional miniatures are combined with the latest technology for a new realm of expression. Let's sneak inside the Tokusatsu film studio with Thane.
Here we go! Yes!
Inside the studio, a battle scene between Ultraman Victory and King is being filmed. Seeing a battle between hero and monster up close for the first time.
Oh my gosh! This is amazing! Wow!
Shin-san. Welcome to Japanese Tokusatsu Studio.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oka.
Yes.
Yes, the president of Tsuburaya.
Hi.
Wonderful. Very, very nice to meet you.
Shinichi Oka, an experienced cameraman and Tokusatsu director. He's now president of Tsuburaya Productions.
Please be careful. This is the stage where we do the battle scenes. A little small at first glance, right? It's small, but one of our techniques is to make it look bigger with the camera and miniature decorations.
Right.
Here in front are some miniatures.
This is the miniature that you use.
Yes.
Different curtains inside.
Right. We're shooting the night scene today, so we light up the inside and pull the curtains to give it that feel.
Very small detail.
Yes, right. Would you like to set up the camera to see how you can make Ultraman Victory look big?
Oh yeah? Me? Okay. Thank you.
Oka has arranged for Thane to place the camera wherever he likes and direct a miniature Tokusatsu scene. Thane searches for an angle that will make the hero look large. On stage, Ultraman Victory stands by.
Can we bring this down more? To get a big upper angle?
He'll look bigger if we shoot him from below, right? Yes, perhaps.
Here's Thane's camera position. He placed buildings in the front to add depth.
Ta-da!
Fane, please, look here. You can see the ground, right? If this is to be surrounded by buildings, there will be roads right there. So this wouldn't work.
I see.
If we're to set the camera here, we would need to lift these buildings up, hide the front.
Right. Wow.
Let me find a slightly better angle and create the frame.
Yes, please.
Sorry, Fane, but I'd like to set up the camera here.
As soon as Oka decides the camera position, the entire staff begins to rebuild the miniature set. They take apart the stage and bring the camera closer. The fluidity of the staff allows the miniature set to be transformed instantly. As soon as the camera position is decided, the sets are altered quickly and resourcefully, like always. Finished in just 5 minutes.
Beautiful. Looks amazing.
Victory looks about 50 meters tall, doesn't he?
He's very, very big.
The difference is obvious at a glance. In Oka's version, Ultraman Victory's size and how he blends into the city are far more realistic. Next, Oka shows us a special secret weapon in Japanese tokusatsu.
Please take a look at this. This is to ignite the gunpowder.
With each switch, one goes off. So if you go like this, they go off continuously.
This is the triggering device. 30 metal rods are in a line. Ignition timing is determined by which switch is struck with the electric cord. The explosions are controlled by changing up the intervals. Time to turn on the switch. Several explosives have been placed on the monster. Let's see how they exploded. Five explosions around the body. The explosives go off at irregular intervals, adding intensity to the monster's final moments. This is another technique unique to tokusatsu.
How do you check the timing?
I only have experience and instinct to go on. For example, if I'm off by a second and they're filming it 5 times, means I'm off by 5 seconds.
In a tokusatsu tradition, slow motion is used to captivate the viewer's attention. But slowed down to 5 times the length, a 1 second miss becomes a 5 second discrepancy.
I can't press the switch too soon. My hand has to start moving just before the explosion needs to happen. It takes years of experience. Just have to keep making mistakes and getting yelled at and learning.
Suddenly, we learn there's a small surprise for Thane.
Oh, here we go. There's Ginga.
On stage, Ultraman Genghis Dream has appeared.
Look, King of Stream is calling you.
What's about to start now?
Ginga Stream has called me.
Thane has been called up to the stage.
Hello, nice to meet you.
It appears he's to knock down EX Red King with Ultraman Genghis Stream.
Attack, Red King.
The hero teaches Thane how to shoot out the spacing light beam.
Thane, you look 50 meters tall.
This big.
Now, can he defeat this villainous monster to protect the Earth?
Feels really good.
Feels really good. Feels really exciting.
Next, we head to the digital compositing studio.
Hello, how you do? I'm Thane Camus. Nice to meet you. Hello, nice to meet you.
The technique of combining filmed sequences from the studio with computer graphics has created unlimited possibilities for tokusatsu. Here, we add a line for the light beam.
Wow. Each line, from its thickness to its length, is hand-drawn?
It's the experienced hand that makes digital effective. The light should be stronger where it's being emitted. So we make the lines thicker. We're not sure if viewers notice this at all, but we put our efforts into each and every frame.
Oh, amazing.
And here's the finished product. Yes, the Earth is saved.
Whoa!
Here a car is chased by a monster. A terrifying scene in which the monster's laser beams ruthlessly chase down the car. The monster was filmed in front of a green screen, then added to the live-action car scene filmed outdoors. To that, laser beams from the monster's mouth and explosions are edited in. Several elements are combined digitally to create this breathtaking scene. This is the newest form of Japanese tokusatsu, adding reality to an imaginary world that is impossible in real life. Currently, there is a movement to revisit the true potential of Japanese tokusatsu miniatures. The short film, A Giant Warrior Descends on Tokyo, was created to do just that. In this work, a character from Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind by Hayao Miyazaki was filmed in live-action tokusatsu. Emphasis was placed on showing texture on film, possible only in live action. Even the melting concrete is not computerized, using real liquid. The director is Shinji Higuchi, a tokusatsu devotee since childhood.
I can admit this now, but it wasn't really work to me. When you say work, it's about trying to finish early and go out for a drink, or wrapping up by such and such so we can head home as soon as possible. But I wanted it to go on forever. It was so much fun, I didn't want it to be over. To feel that excitement I remember as a kid. I want to feel it again. And I want to have other people experience it too.
Higuchi is currently working on a major motion picture that utilizes tokusatsu. The subject is Attack on Titan. Humanity is at the brink of collapse due to the sudden emergence of a Titan. This is the live-action adaptation of a best-selling manga depicting the combat between Titan and human. Preceding the film, a car commercial was directed by Higuchi. In this work, the Titan is controlled by 3 people. The inspiration for this setup is bunraku, a form of Japanese puppet theater. 3 people maneuver a single puppet.
3, 2, 1
The Titan's hidden hands are also maneuvered in unison by 3 people, bringing its powerful eerie movement to life. Merging with traditional techniques, Tokusatsu has added another new realism.
The higher the hurdle, the more excited I get. After hearing that director Eiji Tsuburaya never said no when asked if something was possible, I thought that was incredible. And I think it's up to us, to pick up the torch and pass it on. I feel fortunate about that.
Tsuburaya's soul lives on today.
Japanese technology, Tokusatsu. Filming technology developed by Japan, evolving originally, differentiating itself from Hollywood. The idea based upon Japanese traditional culture. The most exquisite piece of workmanship is still moving towards the future with professional attempts to discover new things, learning from the past. For over 60 years since the birth of Godzilla, the spirit of Japanese tokusatsu has been handed down from generation to generation. To follow in the great footsteps of Eiji Tsuburaya, to bring wonder of motion pictures to the world.